Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. And shalom to you few brothers and sincere sisters that watch my videos and gain edification or useful knowledge in this truth. So, this is the brother Karat Zaba coming to you with uh, a quick snippet, if you will, so to speak, a quick cut, or you know, just keeping you abreast on what's going on, you know, technology wise, and I know a lot of brothers out there don't have wives, but I'm letting you know, keeping you abreast on what's going on out here, and these wicked northern and southern kingdom 2/3 nigger women are doing what they're up to. So there's an app called the T Dating Advice, and there's another app called Are We Dating the Same Guy? All right, and it's these women are able to, if you read, it says they verify to make sure you're a woman. When you open these apps, and you could take they do screenshot blocking, so nobody could screenshot you or whatever. Stay anonymous, avoid red flags, and society everywhere. So this app is in every state, all right. And these women, they use this app, to find out, what the men are doing, all right. So you can imagine there's going to be a lot of judgment going out, or a lot of things going out, what I'm saying, surrounding these apps. I haven't seen any deaths yet, but you can imagine what's gonna happen when, a 2/3 nigga woman find out that her man that she been with is and she's seeing somebody else on the app. All right, get the T on your date. Avoid red flag men. Anonymous advice. Background checks. Reverse image search. All right, sex offender search. Phone number lookup. Set alerts for your man so they could tell when your man is online, if his image pops up, or things of that nature. So I'm just I'm just warning the brothers and sincere men, you know, about what these demons are up to. And I know a lot of brothers are waiting for Isaiah 4:1, or they're waiting for the kingdom. All right, but I just thought it would be, a good thing to speak about. And this is First Timothy 5, and edifying as well. This is First Timothy 5:11. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry. Okay, so when a widow is an unmarried woman. A widow. Where's it at? Salakia, bear with me. Feminine of a presumed derivative apparently from the base of through the idea of deficiency. So it's a woman without a husband. Lacking a husband, okay? Feminine of a presumed derivative apparently from the base through the idea of deficiency. A widow as lacking a husband, literally or figuratively, widow. Okay, so in this case, that would be literally. So that's the women who don't. This scripture right here is talking about the women who are unmarried and wanton against Hamashiach. So what could a woman do to be wanton against Hamashiach? All right, so she's gonna be sexually immoral. She gonna be a hoe. She gonna be loose. She gonna be, she gonna be with multiple men. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton, when they start, getting in their feelings, start feeling, horny against Hamashiach, they will marry, okay? So when a woman feeling like that, she need to marry, okay? So she don't commit sexual immorality, adultery, being with more than one man. Having, verse 12, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith, all right? So, these women are online, and I'm going to equate it to, these women online. This is what they're doing. These women out here being hoes. They out here having sex, jumping on the cock carousel. All right? Having damnation, judgments, condemnation of wrong, whether severe or mild. All right? So these women cast off their first faith, having damnation because they cast off their first faith. All right? They running loose. They running wild out here. Being loose. Loosey-goosey. Because they being hoes. Instead of being women, who are married, which is righteous, they being hoes. And withal, they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house. All right? These women, they either literally go from house to house, or they use the internet via the intranet, all right, to go house to house, to play that game telephone. Oh, this man right here, he dealing with you and me, all right? And with all, they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things they ought not. You talking about what this man is doing with the next woman, all right? And you shouldn't be doing that. And that's what these women are doing. They're being busybodies and tattlers, all right? And then your friend is gonna be on there. A woman's friend is gonna be on there. She's gonna say, "Oh, ain't that the dude that you dating? That's a tattler and a busybody. You getting involved in other people's business. Meanwhile, a marriage is between a man and his woman and the Most High. Speaking things they ought not. And withal, they learn to be idle, not doing nothing. All these women do is they just sit there on their phones being idle, not cleaning, not cooking, you know what I'm saying? Not taking care of the kids, not doing nothing. They got all the time in the world to be on social media and looking on their phone and getting involved in other people's affairs, but they not doing what needs to be done in their own home. Idle, wandering about from house to house, all right? Because you don't have to go to house now. Now you can pick up a phone. You could text. You could do it via the internet. Not only idle, but tattlers, busybodies, speaking things they ought not. You running your mouth, telling what this man is doing, but you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing in the house. The younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry. So these younger women are refusing to marry. The younger women refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry. So a woman, when she's starting to become wanton, all right, when her eyes start wandering, when she start getting horny, or she's starting to feel that urge, supposed to get married, supposed to start pushing for that marriage. She's supposed to say, "Listen, I need a husband." You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with this. I can't bear this. I can't bear to be alone. And I understand, some of the sisters are built like that. Some of the sisters, You know, they don't crave, they don't crave a man. Some sisters probably, but it's, you know, that's good. But at the same time, you're supposed to have a head. So you're supposed to be, up, you're supposed to have a man, a husband. You know? Because in its truth, you know what I'm saying? When you married, it's not that, we sitting here bumping uglies, 24/7. When you a man of the Lord, you don't get down like that all the time. So even if you have multiple wives, if you really, really in this truth, even if you have multiple wives, that's only to run an efficient home. That's only to run an efficient household. All right? You got one woman cooking, one woman cleaning, one woman taking care of the kids, or they sharing, taking responsibility, sharing days, all the women doing laundry, or one woman doing laundry, the other one, sweeping, mopping, cleaning. You got to efficiently running home. All right? You're not sitting there having sex all the time. And that's and people don't understand that is that when you have multiple women, when you have multiple wives, you're not sitting there having sex all the time. You're not sitting there, that's a perk that comes along with it, but you're not sitting there having sex all the time. Why? Because the Sabbath is there. All right? So you can't have sex on the Sabbath. That's one. Two, you can't have sex when you go to prophesy. All right? That's two. All right? And then you probably so busy working that you're not going to be having sex all the time like that. Working, doing the work, creating lessons, edifying the sheep. You're not going to have time like that to be having sex with your woman. But like I said, you're going to get busy once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Even with one wife, you don't be getting busy like that. You know what I'm saying? You might, say, all right, do a little something once a week or something like that, or, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to be doing that all the time. There's other things to be done. All right? But that's only to make a household more efficiently, run more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? You got multiple streams of income coming in. So your woman might not be in the house all the time like that. She might be at work. Or the other one might be at work. Or vice versa. Or they both might be at work. You know what I'm saying? Or one might be home at work and one might be with the kids. However they work things out. You know what I'm saying? However you work things out. Salakia, however you work things out, because you the head, you running the show. But you know what I'm saying? The younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Hamashiach, they will marry. All right? These younger widows, single women, are refusing to marry, when they get wanton. They want to be loose. They want to, ride the car carousel. And that's Esau's fault. He's Esau, he did that. He changed the laws and made things messed up. So a woman gotta wait to get a wife until she 18, till she legally married, till she's legal. 18 is legal. But if you get a woman who's younger, maybe you have an older wife who could teach her how to serve you. You know what I'm saying? How to teach her how to serve her husband. You're not sitting there saying, "Oh, I want to pop this underage, this young girl." No. But then when she's ready, you know what I'm saying? When she's at the age of her flower, when she's ready, then, you know what I'm saying, she don't have to go out here hoeing. She don't have to go out here and be loose. She got a husband already established for her. And that's what a lot of these 2/3 jakes don't understand. Is that it's not for, all right, I'm just gonna pop her, you know what I'm saying? I wanna have, pop a little girl. I wanna pop a young girl. No. That's not what it's intended for. It's for training purposes only. It's for training purposes only. All right? That's so that the younger wife can be taught how to serve you. She knows how to serve your coffee. She knows how to, keep you healthy. You know what I'm saying? Run your, do certain things. Run your bath water. What time you get out of work? Have your slippers ready. You know what I'm saying? How to cook your food. You know what I'm saying? How you like things. That's what the purpose of that is for. All right? Not being carnal in the flesh saying, oh, I wanna have sex with young underage girls. Like, nah, it's to prepare them, to get them ready so that they can, they can be suitable wives. You know what I'm saying? So, having damnation because they have cast off their faith, and that's what a lot of women have done. They cast off their faith because they've gotten wanton. They've gotten wanton. All right? They lusting. And now they caught in the cock carousel. What does the faith teach you? The faith teaches you that you can only have one husband. As long as he liveth. Then you can get another one. And withal, they learn to be idle, wandering from house to house. That's what these apps is. These apps allow women to go from house to house because in ancient times they had to literally go from house to house. Now they don't have to. These women, these younger women don't have to go from house to house. They could reach another woman's house just by sitting on a couch or sitting on a chair, sitting wherever. Just by tapping the phone or the computer. And withal, they learn to be idle, not cooking and cleaning, not taking care of their duties at home, wandering from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, telling what the next woman's husband is doing. Oh, I seen him. He was dealing with. How do you know that this woman don't know that her man got somebody else? How do you know she's not into polygamy? That she doesn't know that he has multiple, multiple wives. Tattlers and busybodies. You get involved in other people's business and speaking things what they ought not. So, Lord's will, you few brothers and sincere sisters have been edified. I just wanted to warn you about what's going on. These people are just waxing worse and worse. Lord's will, you've been edified. Shalom to the next one.